See y'all in a minute. All right, what's going on, everybody? We are out test riding the Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram 411. I think that's a technical name for it, but it's really you're gonna call it the Scram. 411cc, single overhead cam, 4-stroke bike, air cooled, air and oil cooled. And let's get going. Take a little ride. I'll pull over up here and talk about the specifications. First off, I love the seat. Oh man, it is comfortable. We got some pretty wide flat handlebars, good visibility with the mirrors, not too much vibration. You'll notice with this bike there's no tachometer. We got an analog speedo with an LCD gear indicator and odometer. Holds 63 miles on this baby. Now, with a bike like this, you're not going to break any land speed records, but that's not what it's made for sure. Say a little thumbs up there, man. It's a pretty neat looking bike. It looks kind of retro. Yeah, this kind of takes me back. Now this bike, made in India, and they advertise it as like an urban commuter. And I was telling the mechanic back there, when I got out of college and I was broke as a joke, I had a motorcycle that was my transportation to and from work. It was my grocery getter. It was the bike I took dates out on. And this is what I could picture this being for somebody. For sure. Brand new. This bike is $5,099. And one of the reasons I thought it would be good to review it right now, because the 2024s are out. But because this is a leftover 2023, you could get this bike $1,100 off for $4,000. Now that might not be everywhere, but that's Blackman Cycle in Emmaus. So $39.99 they'll sell you this bike. And I gotta tell you, big thanks to Blackman's for letting me do this. Take out these cool bikes and do little reviews and test rides. When I decided I wanted to do this, I went around to all the local dealers and I just chilled and talked to people. And these guys at Blackman's are just, they were just the coolest people, super friendly, super helpful. And I thought to myself, these are the ones I want to deal with. Turns out they like my content, and they said, yeah, come on in. So, let's put her in neutral. There we go. take a little look at this guy. Come over here, get out of traffic. So when you're comparing this guy to the Himalayan, they have the same engine, the same 411cc single overhead cam engine. But this being a little more street oriented, we have a smaller tire on the front. The Himalayan has a 21-inch front tire. I believe this is a 19. Yeah. And we got a 17 in the back. So it's just for a little better handling in town, a little more nimble. Now, like I said, this bike is simple, but in a lot of ways that's a good thing. You can do all the maintenance yourself. Supposed to get oil change service every 6,200 miles, I think they say. Got to do valve checks on these. But that's not a big deal, because you could kind of do it yourself. It's got these little adjustment windows, and you could just, it's a screw type adjustment, and you could adjust the valves that way. So, honestly, other than getting tires, this bike might never see a mechanic. And people like it. Even before I took it out, it was getting some attention at the dealer. And for a $4,000 bike. How you doing? What's that? Oh, I love it. I got layers on. I'm doing a review of the bike. Posting it online later. What do you think?
Royal Enfield. I never heard that.
Oh, they're an English company, started in 1900. But they got bigger, and they got a factory in India. In the right. So these have been made in India since the 50s. They stopped making them in England, and now it's an all right. Just like the Himalayan, this guy walked by, loved the bike, and he's thinking about buying one for his grandson. Yeah, this bike attracts a little bit of attention, but we better get going. All right, off we go. So, like I said, this bike would be super affordable, easy to maintain bike. They can do a little bit of everything except brake speed wreckers. We'll go up the road here a little bit. Now the brakes, we got a 300 mil disc in the front and a 240 mil in the back. The front is a 2-piston, the back is a single piston, and it takes a good pull on the brakes to get it stopped. And with the 24 horsepower, it's okay for roads like this. The only thing you want to avoid the interstate. But if you need to get on the interstate for a little bit, we got a top speed in the 80s. You just don't want to be riding all day at 80 miles an hour on this bike. No wind protection. Don't need it. Enjoy life. The wind blowing through your hair. Hopefully you wear a helmet, but figuratively blowing through your hair. Yeah, super fun, super comfortable. If you want to pass somebody on this, you probably pop down a gear and they better be going pretty slow. But yeah, this is comfy, it handles well. You go around some, you go through some twisties, have a good time with this. Got a little traffic jam in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Boy, I don't believe this is a brand new motorcycle for $4,000. That's something. 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. But what I've learned so far, they're pretty reliable. I mean, it's kind of, you know, built to a price, so it's not gonna have a Ducati finish, but sometimes that's all right, you know. I wouldn't mind well, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind getting a little scratch or a dent, but no matter what bike I have, that's gonna bother me. Maybe let's say it would bother me a little bit less on a $4,000 bike than a $20,000 bike. Now, need to get turned around. Yeah, we got a pretty narrow gas tank, low seat height, maybe a half-inch shorter than the Himalayan, which makes it super approachable to a new rider. The bike's pretty light. I think it's 32 pounds lighter than the Himalayan. Which makes it 402 pounds, which is not bad. It actually even feels a little bit lighter than that. See how we go up this hill here. Just like a big old thumper. No problem. I can see myself going up a little dirt hill like that out in the trails. But this bike is going to be, I guess you would say this is more like an 80-20 street to dirt bike. This is meant for the city. But you could go back on some little trails as long as they're not too difficult or technical. You almost have the same suspension as you do on the Himalayan. You got maybe a half-inch shorter rear suspension on this, I think. Turn signals are not self-canceling, but did you really expect them to be? And who cares? See, it is. Well, twisty roads are okay. That's pinned in 4th gear and 60 mile an hour easy. So that's kind of the sweet spot for city riding, you know, going between like 40 and 60 in the city. And this does it easy without too much vibration. I'm going to end the review here on the Scram. But thanks for watching, and more bikes to come. And big thanks to Blackman Cycle in Emmaus. All right.